Hey everybody, I am your host Alad, and today I'm reporting to you from Grand Central in New York City, where we are polling New Yorkers asking, do you feel safe in the New York City subway? This is coming on the heels of the subway shooting last week, and then also a rise in crime and homelessness on the subway. Let's go talk to some New Yorkers, see what's going on.
Police are on the hunt for this suspect who was captured on surveillance video stabbing a man after stealing his cell phone aboard a Metro Green Line train in South Los Angeles. Watch as the male suspect grabs the victim's cell phone and takes off. The victim chases after him, the two struggle over the phone, and the suspect stabs the victim before running away. That was on February 12th on the 11,600 block of Avalon Boulevard, and it is one of dozens of violent crimes captured on camera aboard LA County transit lines. This video, posted by KFI reporter Steve Gregory, shows some of the brutality commuters have faced between 2019 to 2021. Shootings, fighting, even stabbings as riders watch helplessly. We see people being sucker punched and beaten. In one instance, a man laying on a bench is grabbed and thrown onto the train tracks. And there are other incidents too graphic to show you, such as sexual assaults.
It's not safe sometimes, and that's a fact.
According to Metro data, violent crime is up 36% over the last year.
But you know, this is Rita. This is actually, there's a sort of deeper point to this. It's not just a breakdown in law and order. It's also the breakdown of masculinity.
Look at it, I'm too tired. Come on, man, let's split them up.
Because, you know, we've had so many years of the radical left and others saying, you know, toxic masculinity. Well, you know, there's good masculinity, and they never talk about that.
You don't understand. I'm not hiding behind anything. I don't have any attorney here. I'm not going to hide behind that technicality of saying, oh, you shouldn't say this, and oh, you shouldn't say that. If the truth isn't enough, listen, if a person has to be reduced to this kind of an animal to survive in the city.
Taylor! Taylor!
And they've demoralized so many people. They've persuaded people that basically masculinity is a bad thing. No, there are times you need it. There are times you really need it, and there are times that people should show it.
If you take a rat, okay, I was vicious. I don't deny it. I told the guys, I don't know if it's in this statement, but if you take a rat and you corner it, and you, let's say just one time, you start poking it with red hot needles, and the rat doesn't know how to react, and you do this, okay, and you wind up doing it again, or perhaps again, and if once in a while a rat turns viciously on you and just becomes a total vicious killer, which is really what I was, then don't go passing statements of morality saying, well, this was not warranted, or this was, you should have done this, or all you had to do was show the gun. I've been in situations where I've shown the gun. What happened here is I snapped.
And when a woman is being assaulted on a carriage, if there's a bunch of men and they just stand by, that's just, you know, demasculinized people, and it's just shocking.
Look, if I had more bullets, I would have shot them all again and again. My problem was I ran out of bullets, and I was gonna gouge one of the guy's eyes out with my keys afterwards. You can't understand this. I know you can't understand this. That's fine. The only reason I didn't do it is because he had changed his look.
Right now, the recent surge in violent crimes across the city.
Do you feel safe in the New York City subway?
Me personally, I do feel safe.
Okay.
Because I know how to defend myself.
Okay. And do you think if somebody doesn't know how to defend themselves, should they feel safe in the subways here?
No, they shouldn't, because, see, the problem with this is all the police, especially at 42nd Street, they stand in 5, 6 upstairs. Everybody on their cell phone. The crime is happening down here, so they're not doing nothing.
Do you think more cops are the solution?
No. The thing is, They should get the people who commit these crimes in the subway system, keep them out of the system. They know who they are. They got their names. Keep them out. If you see them in the system, have them arrested. The only way to stop it, put them in jail. You know?
So that's like a tough on crime approach to this issue. I know that gets a little controversial. Mayor Adams wants to put more cops in the subway. Are you scared there's going to be unintended consequences to just, taking these people and throwing them in jail, throwing away the keys?
See, the thing is, they're going to go after black people more. See, a white person comes sneak on the train, when a black person does it, they're watching the black guy, don't see the white guy sneak on the train. See, they're racial profiling. That's the problem. You understand what I'm saying? And when they should racial profile, they don't. You understand what I'm saying?
I know there are a lot of homeless people on the trains, other criminals on the trains. Should the police be dealing with these people and taking them out of the subway, do you think, or should they be leaving them there? What do you think about that issue?
You should get them out the system, but it's not just get them out of the system. You got to put them in jail. If they're committing crimes, if you're committing a crime with a gun, you should not be let go without bail. On a gun charge, any serious felony assault should have bail, a high bail. When it's petty, like sneaking on a train or something like that, leave them alone, because that's just a waste of time.
I ran up to the first two to check them who were on the ground, the first two that I had shot. And they were taken care of. It's all very cold-blooded, and this is going to offend everyone. I went back to the other two to check on them. And the fellow who was standing up, I was sure I'd shot him. It was funny. I wanted to give Anthony the honest answer. I wonder if I missed. But I went to him the second time. And I looked at him. And he can't verify this because he was probably out of it by then. If I had shot him or if he wasn't, I don't know. And I said, you seem to be doing all right. Here's another.
I'm asking, do you feel safe in the New York City subway? And you're tallying, yeah. I got a lot of people saying, no, we're coming on the heels of the shooting in the Brooklyn subway. You're still confident. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
I'm just confident in being able to maintain myself in the event that something like that was to occur.
Oh, interesting. A couple of women in the past half hour, one showed me a taser, the other told me about her pepper spray. Do you think it's bad that, some women are feeling unsafe? You're saying, you have the capacity to defend yourself, but not everybody may. In general, do you feel like the subways are becoming less safe?
Overall, yeah. I definitely think there needs to be more security environment.
Yeah. And is there somebody to blame for it being less safe?
I think you got to blame the people first.
What'd you say?
I think you got to blame the people first.
And how do we deal with those people then, or?
Well, I think that's a bit over my pay grade to really, make that determination. But I think if there's more officers in environments that are more prone to scenarios like that, that would definitely de-escalate scenarios from occurring.
Mayor Adams suggested he wants to get even more cops into the subway. Would you support or condemn something like that?
I would definitely support it.
You support that? Absolutely.
Yeah. I got kids that travel on the train, so if it's going to make it safer for them and women, then why not?
And on his way out, he threatened to hurt store employees. And then about 10 minutes later, he returned with a chain and started swinging it. A couple of workers were hit, suffering cuts and swelling.
A 24-year-old man is under arrest for slashing a man in a hate crime attack in Brooklyn. Police say Nicholas Martin got into an argument with a 39-year-old man on a southbound F train on Tuesday. That is when officers say Martin made an anti-Asian remark, pulled out a knife, and slashed the victim's chest and the back of his neck.
Well, police are telling us that the suspect used homophobic slurs before stabbing the victim in his arm.
Yeah, what do you think?
Personally, I feel all right, but I know for everybody else, no.
You're putting in a knock. Can I ask why you put no? Why don't you feel safe in the subways here?
A lot of stuff can happen in New York. You never know what can happen. One minute you're just sitting fine, and then some guy asks you for $1. The next he pulls out a shiv and then just comes right at you.
Yeah, I know we're also coming on the heels of over a week ago there was that shooting in Brooklyn. Were you reluctant to ride the subway or anything after that, or is it still all good?
It's still all good. I don't really live near Brooklyn, but I feel bad for everyone that had to be a part of that. God bless them for, surviving.
Absolutely. I want to ask you this one last thing. I know it's controversial, but more cops in the subway, would that make you feel more safe?
Honestly, no, it wouldn't. It would make things a little worse, a little more stressful to me.
Absolutely. What's the quick solution here then? Make people feel safer?
Honestly, I wouldn't say up the police force in the train. I feel like just around the station itself.
The mayor telling business leaders his administration will turn the city around.
The NYPD is actively getting guns out of the hands of potential shooters and doing everything possible to protect their fellow New Yorkers.
You know, we give a lot of, we have a huge budget for the NYPD that's not, you know, and it's sort of like when you have that resource, you sort of throw that resource at everything, at every crisis, at every problem. I think we have a bloated NYPD, and I think we should be investing in other, as I was saying, like other safety measures and, you know, public safety.
It sounds almost like a defund the police message, like take some funds, put them towards education. And
I mean, I think the NYPD is doing just fine. I don't think it needs more funding, and I think that we could be investing resources in other places.
Hey everybody, thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode. Let me know what you thought of the video down in the comments. If this is your first time here, guys, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, stay barely informed.
Attention, code red. A bank robbery is in progress.
It is, and I think for women it's particularly scary because that is something that I think most women would expect a man to do, to step in and to have that protective instinct.
Then don't go passing statements of morality saying, well, this was not warranted.